Hello there, and welcome to yet another episode of my Car Mechanic 2021 series. We've gone pretty far in this series of videos and been through a number of DLCs. Here we're going to, finish the Land Rover DLC by doing the last of the four vehicles, which in this case is the Land Rover Defender 90. And it looks like a bit of an over-engineered Jeep, but hey, you know, there are people out there that buy it. Just giving everybody a hard time. There's nothing wrong with this. To each their own, especially when it comes to choices in vehicles. I mean, seriously, don't take what I say as gospel of anything in terms of like what's truly good and bad. But yeah, as you can see, she's in a bit of disrepair, junkyard find, so got it. I think I got this fairly dirt cheap, and it shows. But we're gonna make her pretty again, or as pretty as it can be. Sorry, the sarcasm and passive aggressive stuff is like it just comes out naturally. All right, so let's get the frame. See how much we can prettify this by just doing something as simple as fixing the frame. Ooh, I actually like the color. Now that you can actually see the actual color without all the stuff stuck to it. Good lord. Okay. Yeah, good news is it's going to be easy to get to the engine. It looks like it may be missing a few parts, but yeah, let's just start pulling everything off of here. Okay, no windshield to speak of. Body cleaned right up though. Ink the license plate, the rear bumper. What's left of the rear windows. If I can fix a single one of these, that'd be a miracle. That snow white interior though. It looks like styrofoam. It really does. I know it's probably like felt or something similar, but or at least shortweave carpet of some sort. But holy Jesus, that looks like styrofoam in there. Okay, so that should be at 1%. It is. That means we pretty much have everything off. But yeah, let's go see if we can fix any of this. Surprise, surprise. Can't fix a single one of them because I mean, the glass is a given. You never can fix the glass. But we're just gonna sell everything. Oh wait, I should have put the threshold higher. Go away. Thank you. We're just gonna buy all new body parts. Right front fender, door, window. Oh, it's a body window. Did we get the hood? Right body window, fender. We did not. Okay. I begin to think what this thing retails for in real life, but I know it's probably a lot. Alright, let's start with that and see where we end up. Okay, bodywork station, Fender 90. Okay. You. New hood. Front bumper. Sorry. Okay, front left door. Another body window. Yet another body window. A rear bumper with included flaps. And left tail light assembly. Front door with the associated spare tire. And the other tail light. Alright. Let's see how far this... Oh, come on. It goes right out of assembly mode right when I start throwing stuff in. I don't know if this is trying to compete with Jeep, or if it's just like they try to build them rugged like this for like those like Savannah tours or something. Kind of weird. Like, what was their intended workload for this thing other than, you know, people riding around in style? It wouldn't be caught dead in a Jeep. Okay, so that's everything that we did on the first round. So let's get the headlights. The plates will do special. We always do. Okay. I mean, it just... the proportions are all weird, but... Digging the color, though. I mean, we may just end up kind of keeping with the others and just doing the stock color. Because it actually doesn't look bad on it. I don't know who their car designers were, but at least they picked reasonable color choices. Alright, let's go buy the rest of our items here. Okay. Those headlights in. Mirrors put on. That for some reason went out of... it keeps going out of assembly mode when I was trying to put that one part in. It doesn't look so bad now. It's got all the major body panels put back on. So we're basically... we got 3 out of 4 wheels, but we're going to probably have to end up getting all 4 new rims and tires. Except for that one, which isn't actually a tire, it's part of the door, but... yeah, there's no sense in just nitpicking that at all. Custom plate. We're going to make a slight variation here. See if we can... overshot. Okay, not enough letters to do what I want and be able to do my normal plate, so... I was going to do like Sleepy Jeep, but there's not... or, yeah, I don't want to do like... I don't want to scrunch it down, because then it just gets... seen way too many of those on the road in my state, and it just... yeah, it just does not... Sometimes people do it right, some people don't. Okay, let's get you up in the air. Try again. Realized I was still in assembly mode. So while we got everything up here, let's check. Okay, so body and frame are now 100%, so halfway there already. At least in terms of condition. What are you missing to put a tire on? You're missing, let's see, outer tie rod. And brakes, and then the caliper set. Other than that, it doesn't look like you're missing much. Yeah. Wait, hang on. What the fuck are you? Okay. Pardon my language there, but what the flippin' frick were you? Okay. Got you. Brake pad. Got you. Front steering E-ring. Sure. Okay. Your search. Caliper. I'll buy one of each. We know we're going to need it. As this goes on. Oh, it's the backing plate that holds the rest of that on? Okay. Sure. Sure. Again, we're learning. This is the first, or excuse me, the first time we've seen this configuration. Not the first Defender or Land Rover. My brain to work. Not the first Land Rover we've worked on, but the first one with this particular configuration. Okay, so that's all prepped for a tire now. So it looks like I was only missing a few parts here and there. Good. Let's get these existing tires off. Like I said, this may be slow going because, like I said, this is a junkyard find and it's basically one gigantic ball of rust. I'm surprised the engine has as many parts as it does. We're still going to have to work our magic on it, so to speak. Okay. So, on with the show. Get these separated. Some big honking tires. Like, these are almost like racing slick huge, you know? I have a feeling we're not going to be able to save these rims, but we're going to try. Give them due diligence, you know. Listen, this one's been left out in the desert for far too long. Like I said, we'll make it pretty again. Oh, hey, we can save 2 of them. That's 2 more than I thought we were going to be able to do. Oh, come on. There you go. Well, alright. Cool then. Assuming you use 1 tire size. Good. That's one thing that's been consistent across all of these Land Rovers we've worked on. They use 1 tire size, and that's all you need. Okay. We're going to go ahead and set that to sort based on condition. We're going to need 4 of those. Oh, and these are off-road tires. Ooh. And we're going to need 2 of these. They're 18s, but the proportions make the tires look like stupidly big for some reason. Right. Let's go buy shit. Rims. We need 2 Rim Defender 18s. 2. Boom. Okay, so we can get rid of that one. And let's just go ahead and get rid of these 2. We'll keep that one for verification when we actually go buy tires. Alright. Okay, 260. One sec. 265, 65. I think this is the way to tick. I think this is like the same tire size as my Silverado. Or at least close to it. Like 265, 65, or maybe just a... Yeah, I think it's pretty damn close. Sorry. I looked at the number and go, wait a minute, I know that from somewhere. Okay, 265, 65, 18s. 18 to 65, 65, and we need 4. Boom. Okay, so 265, 65 are 18. 65, 65 are 18. Alright. Yes. Okay, so we got ourselves a good matchup in terms of tires. Get everything put back together, we'll get it balanced, we'll throw them on the truck so it'll roll on its own, then we'll take it to paint. If any of you guys showed up for the stream, even if you didn't talk, I did a little test stream with Minecraft for about 4 hours on Friday, so yesterday, as of the time I'm recording this. If you guys showed up, even if you didn't say anything, you know, appreciate it, just being there. It was more of an experimental stream anyway. We may do more in the future. Heck, I might even try doing different games on there and just alternate between there and Twitch. But the only thing is, so I'm gonna have to figure out how to easily switch between my profiles on OBS to be able to do that, because manually changing the stream key back and forth is, I can already tell if I'm going to do that very often, it's going to be problematic. So I'm going to forget which one I have set on there, and then I'm going to end up hitting live and wondering why I'm not showing up where I think I am. But, you know, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. I did have a wonderful friend who's a fellow Twitch streamer, much bigger streamer than I, that showed up and chatted for a while, and we were on her server, her Minecraft server, and I had a great time. The back and forth between me and her and the people on the server was just, I needed that kind of interaction, I really did. It was a big boost to my mentality. Alright, got all those balanced, ready to put them back on. As you see, with being between jobs and not having basically almost nobody to talk to in person, you know, where I live, kind of sucks, because, you know, even for an introvert like myself, I'm kind of wondering, you know, wanting to go out and interact with people, and I'm slowly working on that. All right. Sure, this thing couldn't sit on its own. The more we fix this up, actually the nicer it's starting to look. I mean, it's supposed to work that way, but yeah, not bad. Alright, let's get you over to paint. We'll get you looking even prettier here. Okay, so we're gonna just try doing like the factory paint, or the current paint, I guess. Although, to be fair, the factory doesn't look bad on it either, although it kind of gives it almost a John Deere tractor look. You know what? Fuck it. We're going with this. We're going with the factory color. I thought the factory color was red, but apparently not. We're going to give it a nice little coat of green. There we go. Yeah, like I said, it's almost like a John Deere tractor green. I mean, and it's not that's not a knock against John Deere or the color of the car. I mean, that's actually a nice shade of green. It can be. All right, let's get her back in the bay. Even though she looks pretty on the outside, engine's a little rough. I'm just kind of looking at things before we tear into it. Yeah, he's a mess, alright. She's missing the drive shaft to go into the rear wheels. But we'll take care of that soon enough. Alright, first things first here. Front drive shaft out of there, get the transfer case off. Hopefully everybody's got their tetanus shots because, damn. Oh, we're missing the starter entirely. Okay. I was like, I need to take the starter off. And it's like, no, I don't. Gotta nuke the orange bolts, otherwise you're not gonna go very far. Okay, no exhaust to worry about. So we're good there. No oil pans, so don't have to worry about that. Looks like the rest of the fluid reservoirs are in fact missing in action. So yeah, I think she's ready to come out. Right, let's go get the cherry picker. Alright. And it slipped out without having problems. Wonder what those lugs are there for like if you have like a... It's weird. I wonder what that's for on the real vehicle. They have an inline 4 in this thing? Are you freaking kidding me? Seriously? That big old deep clone looking thing got an inline 4 in it? This thing better be like badass once we get it rebuilt, but dang. Again, this is just me, you know, being an idiot with vehicles. So, could very well be a good reason for them to have that engine pairing. Because again, ultimately, I guess it comes down to what's the intended role of this thing? Are we taking it out on trails? Which, maybe. But, or is this thing pretty much just kind of like some of the others, you know, that basically they more than likely going to be used for like soccer practice or you know, mall crawling, that kind of thing. But you know, people buy this stuff, that's fine. I mean, they spend their money on what they want. I'm just, again, like I've said on previous videos for the Land Rover stuff, it's just that these kind of vehicles are not my cup of tea. What's holding you up? Oh. At least you can easily get to the timing shoes on these. They're not like half hidden behind a chunk of the engine block. Oh, good lord. Alright, let's get the clutch parts off. It's like you can just smell the fucking rust, you know, so to speak. Just, ugh. I thought you... Oh. Right, the diesel. Low plugs everywhere. So one glow plug was holding that whole thing up. Okay. Let's get her on their side. Nope, no, too far. Trying to click out, and it wouldn't let me click out. Oops. He's missing half or... Oh, not half, like 3/4 of her rod caps. Whew. This thing's been tortured. Well, at least it was an easy teardown. Oh wait, we're not gonna be able to save the engine block. Here. Well, we're gonna fix the front drive shaft. We're gonna have to buy the rear drive shaft. when we get to it. And the crankshaft. We have to buy a transfer case. Oh, hang on. Transfer case will save that. Stuff we want to preserve has been preserved. The rest of it, we're gonna have to ditch it all and buy new. Nope, 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 nope. I'm gonna go buy that before we sell, because reasons. Right. Okay, so we got our, what should have been our starting point. Okay, we got that. See if there's anything else that I want to save. I don't think so. We're just, like I said, we're just going to buy the rest of it all brand new. Just get rid of all this stuff here. Parts. Right. Flywheel, fuel filter, alternator, water pump, steering. And we're going to need 4 pistons with conrod, the crankshaft bearing caps, but we're also going to need piston rings and rod caps, because I want to save some steps. Going over the performance area, get your flywheel. Good. Fuel filter. Got you. Brand spanking new aftermarket alternator. Our steering pump. And pistons with connecting rod. Those are all standard parts. Get a water pump. 3 crankshaft bearing caps. They probably use the standard ones. I've yet to see one of these that didn't in the Land Rover DLC. Right. On with the show. Okay, go there. All this put together here, then we'll go buy some more parts in the next round. Alrighty. Anything else? Nope. Okay. That's a big honking oil pan. That little part of it that's sticking off to the side there, that seems kind of... Got a roller. 1 monolithic engine head. And did we get a clutch plate? We did not. Do now. Clutch plate. You. Engine head, 5%. Nope. Like I said, don't expect miracles with this one, but, you know, if we get a decent amount of horsepower out of it, I'll be happy. I mean, I know, like, modern cars can get, like, thanks to, you know, some pretty creative engineering, you can get, like, a pretty stupidly high amount of, well, that's why it's got the, they put the oil filter way off to the side there. Modern car car designers or engine designers can get a ridiculous amount of power and torque out of a four-banger nowadays. I'm still of the generation that, you know, there's no, what was it, the old phrase, there's no replacement for displacement. But then again, that's based on some very antiquated thinking of car design. And it shows. Okay, did we get a clutch pressure plate? No, we did not. Do now. It's already starting to look a lot better. This thing was one big honkin' pile of rust when we started. Now it's finally starting to look like a respectable engine again. Alright, back to the tune-up shop. So, clutch pressure plate, camshaft B, and camshaft A. Got an intake manifold, exhaust, good. Rest of that's all standard parts. So far this hasn't been too bad. Okay, oil filter and a roller. Alright, get you all on there. Get the turbo here in a bit. Here. And thank you, whoever designed these. You put plastic, or didn't put a plastic intake manifold on your engine. Thank you. You know, I have any idea like how goofy that looks on cars still. Years ago, I had a 2000 Grand Marquis that had one of those, and it ended up, because it was a V8 rear-wheel drive car, big couch car, you know, one of those little comfy ones that you could just drive forever. I had a plastic intake manifold, and part of the intake manifold had this loop thing that the thermostat housing sat on, and they had this nasty habit of warping the intake manifold, and basically causing the coolant to dump into the valley between the cylinders and basically cooking off and making a big cloud of nastiness. And you had very little time to be able to turn the engine off before you ran out of coolant and you basically cooked the engine. So yeah, it was bad all around. Right, oil filter. Keep forgetting that. Okay. That it? Oh, clutch pressure plate. And not only that, but the reason why I mentioned the thermostat thing was because I wanted to have the thermostat replaced because it was stuck open. Because it was an older car. I bought it long after its, you know, shelf life. Lack of a better phrase. And you get the turbo? You did not. Okay. And so taking it off would risk damaging or, you know, otherwise messing up the intake manifold. And that's when they found out that whoever had the car before me never got the recall done for the intake manifold, because they did have a recall for it. They had years to take it in and have it done, and they never did. So yeah, always check into that stuff when you're buying cars. You never know when the person, especially if you're buying a used car, because if the previous owner didn't do due diligence and actually, you know, follow up on recalls, that could be dangerous. It could be very dangerous. I mean, that car ran fine for a long time. I ran it for several years before it started having, issue after issue, and I just ended up trading it in for a much nicer car that I got almost a decade of use out of. But yeah, gotta be careful with that stuff. And even if it doesn't have recalls, you still want to be careful. Like, make sure that whether or not the person has actually done, or the previous owners have done, this regular maintenance on the vehicle. Guarantee you a sizable portion of them, a shocking number of them, probably haven't. I've been on, like, both sides of that particular situation. Bought a car and then, like, I did just enough to keep it running. Do we have a clutch release bearing? Yes, we do. Forgot to put it on. Okay, so we got a timing chain, camshaft cap. But like I said, I did just enough to keep one of my cars running. Didn't exactly do all the prescribed maintenance stuff because it was expensive, and I was, let's just say, making a lot less than I was up until earlier this year. And yeah, thankfully the car took it, and I was able to finally get the stuff done, but it was done years after it should have been. But at least by the time I traded it in, it had all of its regular maintenance taken care of. But for the longest time, I didn't do that. For a brief while, when I was working for my now previous company, they were very generous with their compensation, and I was able to keep my cars maintained properly. Okay, new engine head cover. And just because you buy something from a dealership doesn't mean even they did due diligence on it. Like I bought I love this dealership to death, but for some reason they didn't do, this one time they didn't do their due diligence on something. They let me manage to drive out of, even though they supposedly were checking on things in the car, they didn't bother to top off the power steering fluid, and I came home and I was like, I'm hearing this growl for some reason. What's going on? And I go to check the power steering reservoir, and it's bone dry. Yeah. I ended up having them, do the power steering pump replacement and the hoses and stuff for that. And because there was a genuine problem with it, it's just I don't think they were aware of it until I said something about it. And I had the extended warranty because I always get those, and thankfully they covered everything. So okay, yeah, I got ahead of myself here. So let's go to the, first if I hit the right button, it help. Tune-up shop. So timing cover's going to be standard part. Aftermarket glow plugs. Okay. Sure. And aftermarket fuel injectors. Like I said, after that, the car worked like a champ. It's just sometimes you just got to put up with, you know, stuff happening with older cars. And sadly, though, I didn't get to enjoy that car as long as I wanted to. A few years after I bought it, I moved to a new house and I had it parked out on the street. And somebody blew a stop sign, clipped another vehicle in the intersection, because I live on the corner of a major intersection. And, ooh, ignition wires. They, like I said, they blew the stop sign, clipped the car, someone else's car, because that was coming on on the other road at that intersection. They spun into my back of my car that I was talking about, and proceeded to bash in the back end of the car and kick the car forward several feet, you know, spreading parts and shrapnel everywhere. And yeah, I had them, you know, nailed to a wall with their insurance company. Even the cop was just like, so as soon as the cop asked me, so it's like, so what were you doing in this accident? I was like, I was inside watching TV. They're like, what? And I was like, yeah, I wasn't even in my car. It was parked outside, legally parked out on the street, you know, where it had been parked for a few years and hadn't had an issue. And then this happened. Same thing with the insurance company. Their insurance people, they're trying to, you know how like they always try to pin it on you, right? They try to make it sound so like, so what could you have done to, like, you know, to avoid the accident? Well, nothing. I was in the, because they were like, they asked a version of that, like after they asked the standard question of, you know, what were you doing at the time of the accident? Because they asked the same thing the cop does, basically. And, got that. Sorry, I got distracted. We got the ignition wires. But yeah, they got to the question of what was I doing, and I told them the same thing I just told you, and they were that threw the insurance person off completely, because they have like this script, right, that they follow, that they're recording your responses to, and they're trying to find any way they could possibly pin this on you, or, you know, shift the blame to you from the other person in the accident. And once I told them, I was like, dude, I wasn't even in the car. I was inside, you know, watching TV, minding my own business. And yeah, it was pretty one-sided on that. There was no way they could have, you know, pinned that one on me at all. It'd be one thing if I had my car like illegally parked or something. But yeah, it was fine. Sucked because I really kind of liked that car, even though I was gonna eventually trade it in for something bigger later in the year. But yeah, I took the insurance money and went and bought what I wanted anyway, so I just did that sooner than I intended. So everything turned out okay, just, yeah. I think that's everything on this engine. Not seeing any grayed out parts. We got all the little fiddly bits, I think. Yep, we're still in assembly mode. And yeah, everything looks kosher. Certainly looks a lot better than she did when we first hooked her up. Alright, let's get you off the engine stand. I went on that little tangent there, but it's just like all the kinds of stuff that you can have happen with, you know, used cars and fixer-uppers and stuff like that. It's just, you got to be careful. Just no matter what you're buying, whether it's new or old, you know, be careful. Do your homework, do your due diligence, and You're going to save yourself a lot of aggravation. Okay, that's everything out of here. We only could save the fuse box. That's adorable. Alright, so we're going to need that anyway, so we'll get that. We're going to inventory all the fuses. So, nope. We don't want the drive shaft sold. Fuse box base. We're going to go ahead and buy the fuse box lid. So, fuse box cover A. That way we don't have to worry about that. Like everything else is missing, so that. And we'll need ABS pump. We'll also need the ABS motor. So servo. Already got the fuse box, coolant reservoir, power steering, washer fluid. Already got that marked. Need a radiator. Did we get the coolant reservoir? Yes, we did. Okay. All right. Batteries and electrical. Get the coolant reservoir. Power steering reservoir. Okay, window washer fluid reservoir. Got you. Alright, let's make a new radiator. Brake servo. Yep. You. Okay, filter base. Your cover. I don't know what kind of clips they use, so we're going to hold off on buying those. And the filter's a performance part, but let's get the battery first. ABS pump. ABS module. Get the battery. Good. Okay. Needed to get the filter. Nope, not that filter. Filter type A. Right, there's no fans attached to it because there's a fan on the engine itself, which is kind of old school if you ask me. But sure. We didn't get the ECU, did we? We did not. Sorry, I got distracted there. Alright. You put in... You get 4 clip Bs and whatever fuses we need for this. Okie dokie. Go get our stuff here. So medium fuse type C. Okay, got you. 2 fuse type Bs. Done. 3 fuse type As. Three relay type Bs. relay type C's. Sorry. And 2 relay type A's. And go over here. Get our clips. Bam. Alright. Situated here. Alright, so that's should be everything. So we're gonna head and go fill all the fluids. Right. Let's get the forbidden milkshake in there, aka the brake fluid. Alright, power steering. And reservoir, washer reservoir. One of these days I'm gonna get my words right. And we'll do the oil. Alright. Put her back in assembly mode, and we'll take a quick peek around, make sure we're not missing anything else. Well, we'll get the transmission, aka the gearbox, back on here in a second. But yeah, looks like everything else is there. And yeah. Alright, let's get the starter. Back over there, thank you. Go ahead and get that drive shaft ordered so that we can have that on hand when we get to that part of the build. We have the front already. Oh, we forgot to put the clips in. Damn it. Should have checked my inventory before moving on, but that's okay. At least we caught it before we got too terribly far down the line. Okay. Assembly. There we go. Now we're done with that part. See, this is why you check your inventory on a regular basis to make sure you're not sitting on extra parts. Okay, front drive shaft and the rear drive shaft. Okay, good. So, what we're going to do now is build out the rest of the non-existent exhaust system. Okay, you got the middle muffler. Rear muffler. Really? That's it? Okie dokie. Buy that real quick. All aftermarket stuff. Boom. Done. And gotcha. Okay. Simple, elegant three-piece design. And I need a fuel tank and an aftermarket fuel pump. So, fuel pump. They just use the bog standard ones just like the other cars do. And standard issue fuel tank. Okay. Excuse me. Alright, so engine's done, exhaust, fuel system, body's done, tires are done. Front engine compartment all checks out, so yeah. Getting pretty close. Oh, we didn't do the interior. We can do that real quick after we get the rest of the... Well, before we start in on the suspension, let's just do that real quick since it only take us like, you know, a couple minutes to do this, if that. Can't believe I skipped that. Right, interior shop. I got sidetracked with stuff, so apologies for that. Come on. Me out. Thank you. Okay, so body, frame, and interior 100%, parts at 70% condition. Yeah, we're doing pretty darn good. Just got the front and rear suspension to do, and then that's it. Let's get both of these back tires off. Alright, let's get it torn apart. One out. There you go. Okay, that gets to everything on this side. Let's get over there. Thank you. Get this side torn apart. We'll see if there's anything at all that we can fix or restore. Probably gonna have to replace a lot of this though. Alright, that's everything. See if see what all we can do here. Yeah. Okay, let's try here. Oh. If we've got some we can fix. be honest, I wasn't holding out much hope we were going to be able to fix anything. Alright. Yeah, it could be worse. Let's go buy some stuff. Oh, I may not. There we go. Okay. Couple of rubber bushings. 2 rear springs. 2 brake pads. Two rear shock absorbers. Shock caps. Okay. 2 rear solid axles. Couple of brake discs. Well, I needed 1, but crap. Alright. Okay, 1 leaf spring U-bolt. Caliper cylinder. Spring cap. And brake caliper. Easy fix. Alright, let's get her put back together, shall we? Or maybe. All this other stuff staged here. Come on, get in there. There you go. Okay, looking good so far. Alright, start getting this side put together. Looking good from here. Yeah, we got the front drive shaft there, so that's one freshly rebuilt rear suspension. Now we're going to take the front tires off. I'm going to do the same thing up here. Fix what we can, replace what we can't. A solid front axle. Oof. Oh, and the steering rack's up front too. Interesting. Oh, right, because it has that little tone ring, or not tone ring, but the E-ring on the back. Now it comes up. Very peculiar front suspension setup. I'll give them that. Back over here, come on. Back. There you go. Right, because I didn't take the dang bushing out first. There we go. Alright. Yeah, very peculiar front setup indeed. It's like some of it's set up for off-roading, but some of it isn't. But it is. I mean, do what you want with it, man. It's your money. Oh. Almost forgot one thing. One important thing. I know the answer to this, but I'm going to try it anyway. Oh, you can fix one. Hot damn. I'll save us a few shekels there. We fixed the actual one rotor. Alright. I'm gonna go into focus mode here. That was a surprising number that we could fix. I'm liking this. Actually, we probably ended up in a better spot in the front suspension than we did the back. Heavens for small miracles. Alright, let's get rid of the rest of this. Bam. Let's go buy our last big set of parts for the night. 2 front springs. 1 outer tie rod, because remember we bought the other one brand new. 2 wishbone shock absorbers. Couple of rubber bushings. 2 inner tie rods. 2 front shock caps. 1 new brake pad, because remember we replaced, or we added the other one that was missing. 1 ventilated brake disc, because we were able to basically resurface the other one. Calipers, piston, and front drive axle. Right, before I do anything else, let's get the assemblies put back together. Right, now let's get to it. Looking good so far. Oh, we forgot the front drive shaft. There we go. We'd have figured it out eventually. Right. Check, make sure we're not missing something else on this side. Good to me. All right. Tire on. Looking good. There, 100% on everything. Hit our goal. Inventory is empty. So yeah. Go over to the alignment rack. Your headlights and tires straightened out. Alright. Take her over to the dyno room and see what our numbers are. And like I said earlier, don't expect miracles, but even I get amazed sometimes. Oof. That's a big oof. I think the Salem Flamo had more stock than that. Yeah, let's see where this one ends up here. Remember what I said about this thing looking like a farm tractor? Sounds like one too. I don't go more than maybe, you know, highway speeds if you're lucky. But all those okay. 185 horsepower, so an increase of 63. Oh my god, that is compared to the other cars we've been doing. Holy shit. Okay, so 51% increase there. 365 pound-feet of torque, so an increase of 115. 46% increase. Jesus criminy, this is not a speed car or a speed demon at all. But the thing probably runs like a Swiss watch, though. So yeah. Let's get it outside for some camera shots. Alright, that front picture is going to be the one that's going to be our thumbnail. Oh hey, at least it has cup holders. And I know shit handle. Where our glove box should be. Okay. Simple, but, you know, direct. No fancy dials, none of this fancy schmancy GPS, this and, you know, freaking OnStar that. Ooh, it's got a sunroof. Very nice. Right, off to the speed track. I hesitate to call it that with this vehicle, but we're gonna go for it. Hook a plow to this thing and let's go. We're in third and it's only 50 miles an hour. Or fifth, rather, I guess. 80. Come on, let's at least break 100. There you go. I knew you could do it. Oh, we may hit 110. 111. Bonk. Alright, so yeah. But it lacks some top speed though. I bet you this thing probably does pretty well at maybe some light off-roading stuff. Maybe. And probably gets halfway decent gas mileage just by the fact that it's a diesel. But again, who knows? It's got some good points, some bad points, you know. I mean, it'll do highway traffic, no problem, but you're gonna be puttering along while everybody's flying around you while you're accelerating, though. I definitely wouldn't tow a camper with this thing. Oh, the last vehicle we did, which was the Evoque, I think. Yeah, I think one of the whatever the previous vehicle was that I did. We had like 1,000 horsepower, or more than 1,000 horsepower. Anywho, so let's take a look here. So what's our final numbers look like? So bought it for 10,800. You see the condition bonus and the values for the parts and performance stuff. How that all factors in. So somehow selling this for 110,700 and some change, for a profit of 99,851. We got almost, what, 10x our investment. So, yeah. Wonders never cease. Okay. Let's move things around here. Get ready for the next episode. I like to show you guys this stuff. So this is the Roadrunner. This is going to be the vintage racing car. Muscle car from long ago. That one's going to be our filler episode, and that's going to be the next one that's up. Trust me, once we get this thing done, with the racing liveries on it, it's going to look like $1 million. It ain't going to sell for $1 million, but it's going to look like it. And we got the first of the Mercedes-Benz, so the SLS AMG. We're going to move that to Bay 2, because that's going to be the next episode after the filler. And, this is the W198. Yeah, the 300 SL. This one I'm looking forward to doing, because the vintage cars in general I like. Some of these little cutesy little cars like this, it's like they look really cool when they're all fully restored. That's going in position 2. Ooh, it's got the fancy gull wing doors. Indeed. Nice. So yeah, that'll be up after the AMG. I'll have to pull another one out of the herd here. Parking. So the W113 Pagoda. So we're going to get that. Move that to the garage. We'll probably have to. Oh, I actually did clean this one, didn't I? I like this one. I mean, it's a tasteful vintage Mercedes. Definitely belongs in a museum. And it's in like reasonable shape. But yeah. Move him over to, or her rather, over to position 3, because that's going to be the third one that we do. They got first one's inside, here, and here. And with that, we're going to go back inside and close up shop. Go. So yeah, got some interesting stuff coming up here. Yeah, Mercedes with a Texas tag. That's just... Anyway, we're going to fix that too when we get to that point. Alright, so with that, I'm going to turn you guys loose. Appreciate you for watching, sticking around for this long. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that you get the alerts for future videos and possibly streams if I end up doing some more of those in the future. With that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.